I'd like to call to order the Westmont Village Board meeting of December 20th, 2018 to order at 6 o'clock p.m. and ask Clerk Simsky for roll call, please.
Mayor Gunter?
Here.
The clerk's here. Trustee Addington?
Here.
Trustee Barker?
Here.
Trustee Barry?
Here.
Trustee Guzzo?
Here.
Trustee Little?
Here.
Trustee Nero?
Here.
Attorney Zimonek?
Here.
Village Manager May?
Here.
Finance Director Parker?
Here.
Would everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening and welcome. I do have a request. I'll open forum. I have a request to speak at open forum. Christopher Coyle, and he's 427 North Wilmette Avenue, and he'd like to officially invite the board, myself and the board, to attend an event. So, Chris, podium's all yours.
All right, thanks for entertaining me for a minute. This won't take long. My name's Christopher Coyle, for the people that don't know me in this room, lifelong resident of Westmont. I have some handouts I'd like to give you guys to officially invite you to Miller School Community Unit School District 201's Multicultural Night that we will be holding in February at 6:30 to 8:30 at the junior high. We wanted to invite you guys because you do stuff in our village, to take care of what we have financially and such for our village, and we thought it would be a good idea to have you guys come, if you would like to, and see what, the taxes in our town and stuff go to in our school district, and why people are wanting to move to Westmont because of our dual language program. This isn't just dual language, it covers the ELL students, English language learners, which are of all nationalities. So that was all I really wanted, was to officially invite you guys to come. So if I may hand you these real quick.
You'll get the police chief can hand it to us.
Chief, and let him hand them
Let
out.
him walk
I'm sorry, I only have 10 of them. I didn't take the finance director and village attorney and manager in place, but
That's
that was
right.
all I wanted to officially invite you guys. So I hope you guys can come. It's a really good time. Families bring food of their culture. They bring pictures. They'll wear traditional clothing, stuff that they do, and kind of just like share their culture with us. So it's a good time. Everybody meets each other and eats some good food.
What's the date,
and
Chris?
has fun. February 1st, 6:30 till 8:30 at the junior high. We've had to move it from Miller to the junior high because each year it's keeps getting larger and larger.
And how many
So,
years have they been doing it?
This is the third year.
Good year. Good.
So first two were Miller. No, this will be the fourth year. I'm sorry. First two were at Miller. Then last year at the junior high, and this year again. I think we had 100 and some people last year, the families in the villge. So thank you very much
Thank
for your
you.
time.
Thank
You
you.
guys-
Chris, a lot of people may not know that he had a famous grandfather here in town.
No, not at all.
Andy Pasquinelli
Yeah.
is
That
Chris's
would be-
grandfather.
That would be my grandfather.
I think you should throw that out anytime you
Yeah,
can,
well.
Chris. So very good.
Pasquinelli Drive is named after him, so he was mayor 63 through 72, in case you needed to know that. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you.
Merry Christmas, Chris. Anybody else would like to address the board during open forum for something not on the agenda? Seeing nothing, I will close the open forum. We'll move on to reports. I have a report this evening. It's the Sister City update, and I'd like Community Relations Director McIntyre to come on up and start the presentation.
Thank you very much, and with me is Pete Landreth from Westmont High School. We want to just give everybody a quick update on what's happening with Sister City program. As you all know, we're making our plans for the trip to Taiwan with our students this upcoming spring, and Pete's been working hard, so hoping to get a little update on how many kids have signed up and such.
Certainly. As of right now, with our first sign-up date yesterday, we have 15 students who have submitted their initial deposits. So the trip is definitely going to happen. We had a great response. This is exactly what we hoped we would get. So, and we will be going over spring break, and we'll be bringing these 15, possibly 16 students, because we haven't shut it down yet. And we will be visiting our sister city Hsinchu and our Laojia High School is where we'll spend 6 days with families, and then 4 more days traveling around from Taipei to Tainan and up to Sun Moon Lake as well. So we'll move pretty quick. We'll see as much as we possibly can. The kids will come home much more tired than they left. And so that's where we're at.
I wanted to also mention there was a question regarding, you know, what's the cost of something like this? And it's approximately, we're working on the budget, and we did our very best to keep that number low so it was affordable for families. And we're around $2,600 per student, and there's a chance that it may go a little bit lower depending on.
We got the numbers, it'll be lower.
So it'll go down from there a little bit. But in comparison to other student exchange events, sometimes it's as high as $4,000 per student to travel abroad. So this is we hope we're making a good budget for all the people who are involved.
And that they solely pay for themselves?
Yes.
Yes. Good. And thank you, Pete, for helping organize this and coordinate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. And Larry, while you're back up there, do I want to talk about the Westmont is the Bestmont?
Sure, well, we'll just
Contest.
mention it real quick, and we've been promoting it for a couple months, but we have a few more weeks for the Westmont is Bestmont contest. You can sign up online, but it's an opportunity for anybody in the community, and we're especially reaching out to students to sign up and show your passion for the community, whether it be through writing a story, a poetry, a song. It's up to the individual to decide how they want to express their passion for the community. And so you can sign up online.
You have any visual for that at this time? No?
Well, there was a change in order, so no.
All right. All right, and other than wishing everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday Season, I will turn it over to Clerk Simsky.
I just want to remind everybody that the Holidays Coat Drive through January 4th, there are 2 drop-off locations, the library and the Park District. Also, village offices will be closed December 24th, December 25th, and January 1st. And of course, happy holidays and a very happy new year to everyone.
Thank you.
Can I add to that, please?
Yes.
We are also closed on December 31st as well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And we're going to move over
There's
to
a visual
trust.
for that one. I'm sorry, there was a
No.
visual for that one. I was startled.
I was waiting for the visuals. So we're going to move on to Trustee Little because she's got some presentations to make this evening.
Thank you, Mayor. It's my pleasure to introduce the winners of the Holidays Home and Business Decorating Contest. And I would like to invite our Communications Director back up to discuss what's going on. Did you want to start with a description of how we found?
Absolutely. And so this is a contest that we've done through Holidays for many years, and we had online sign up for both residential and business. And so we had our judges go out about a week ago or a week and a half ago to drive throughout the community and take a look at who had decorated, and the judges had selected the top 3 in both residential and commercial. And so should we go with residential? All right, so we'll ask Trustee Little to come up and we'll make the presentations. So we'll start with our 3rd place finisher, and that's the Graham household at 306 North Grant. Mike and Maren, if you can come on up.
And not to forget that, Josh, you're a star in your own right, as I understand. You've been in the videos for the village?
Yes,
Which ones?
I have been in an interview with Mr. McIntyre. I've been in the Holidays Parade, and I've been in the water tower competition.
Thank you.
Actually, just before the meeting, Director Ramsey had mentioned that that's a highlight throughout the state. Many people have viewed that video and giving high compliments, so good job.
And there's a picture of their home on the screen.
So I'll get a picture of everybody here real quick. Ready, here we go. 1, 2, very nice. More. And all right, thank you.
Larry, I thought I
Thank you.
saw him in Westmont as the Bestmont contest, too.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, congratulations.
It's things like this competition that makes Westmont possible.
There we go. In second place, we have Robin Anders, and that address is 402 North Grant Street. I believe they're not here this evening, but their address is 402 North Grant if you want to stop by, and there's on the screen is a picture of their house.
In their picture window, you can kind of see it. It's like a TV screen. It changes and it moves. It's really
Very good.
Just go to North Grant.
And then in first place, we have Tom and Allison Horner, and their address is 23 North Grant.
Nice.
You could have won. You had to be on Grand Street.
Congratulations.
200 block, we don't have a.
Congratulations. That's, Grant Street took the whole thing.
And so now we'll move on to the Business Award winners.
Thank you, Larry. So on our Business Community Award winners, in our third place, we have the Frame Makers at 10 North Cass with a Christmas attic theme.
Wow.
Barb?
Yeah. Wow.
Of course. In second place, we have the West Suburban Family Vision and Therapy at 136 North Cass with I'll Be Home for the Holidays.
very nice.
Thank you.
And our first place winner was actually our third place winner last year, and that's Clemens Enterprises with a Dickens Village Christmas theme. Unfortunately, she's not here tonight and couldn't be here tonight, but I believe there's a photo up. And we encourage you to stop by and look at all the business decorations. They did a great job this year, and certainly lends to the holidays theme and feel of the community. So let's give them all a round of applause.
Where's that vision place? 36.
Yeah, you're not done yet. Get our money's worth out of you today.
Man, Dr. Mays is
Hey.
Here we go, ready? 1, 2, and we got it. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And again, for those contest winners, it really makes the community look bright.
Yeah.
So I think it's, thank you for doing it. And we'll move on to Trustee Barry.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Well, they want me to go in order. So.
Yeah. We have a couple things. Our next scheduled EDC meeting is going to be Wednesday, January 2nd, and that's at 9 a.m. right next to the Village Hall. The agenda will include a presentation from GSB Development about their proposal to construct an office building at 301 to 315 West Ogden, and that's currently where Las Palmas Strip Mall is. And there's also discussion about the S&G Partners LLC about the proposal to construct a car wash facility on either of the vacant lots at 6490 or 6500 South Cass Avenue. And again, that's on Wednesday, January 2nd at 9 a.m. next to the Village Hall. We also had our demo ceremony at 63rd and Cass. We had more than 50 people participate in the demolition. The demolition of the old structure on this property will continue through spring of 2019, which will be followed by the start of the new construction shortly thereafter. And then we also had our groundbreaking at the Natatorium. This was at the Ty Warner Park and on December 13th. And the event was followed by a formal ceremony featuring several guest speakers at the Hilton Chicago Oak Brook Hills Resort and Conference Center in Westmont. And we look forward to them moving along with their construction. And then also the Amber Cafe has completed their remodel and is now reopened. So we encourage everyone to stop in and see their staff at the Amber. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That is all I have. I was surprised I had visuals and everything here today. This is great.
Something new, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, he got upgraded.
We're gonna upgrade to make sure everybody sees what we're talking about.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
And Trustee Guzzo.
Thank you, Mayor. First off, our next Public Safety Committee meeting is going to be February 28th, 2019, here at Village Hall at 4:30. Everyone is invited to attend. Secondly, Fire Department, let's keep the wreath red. Now through January 2nd, if there is a fire related to holiday decorations, one of the red bulbs will be removed from the wreath and it'll be replaced with a white one. So please, let's keep that wreath red and practice good fire safety during the holidays and all year round. And for the police department, sign up for the Westmont Police Department Facebook page. A lot of good information is being published, and we encourage everyone to be connected. And then last but definitely not least, I want to take the opportunity to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, a happy holiday season, happy 2019. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Trustee Eddington.
Thank you. A couple things this evening. First one is that Community Development Committee will have its next meeting on January the 17th. There'll be several things that we'll be discussing, including some updates. But one item that everyone should be aware of is that we passed an ordinance a short time ago requiring everyone to have house numbers both in the front, and if you have an alley, in the alley, it's a safety precaution thing. By having your numbers in the alley, it's going to help our police department and our fire department if you call or they get an emergency call and it's taking place in the back of your house. They can respond faster, they know where they're going, they can get to you. So everyone who's involved, all the people involved, the homes, will be getting a letter, but that has to be in effect or has to be in place by March 1st. That's when enforcement will begin. So that is that's something new, but we think it's an important step for you to protect you and your homes and your families. The other thing is for basketball, I know I talk sometimes about Westmont High School. They're on Christmas break starting tomorrow. They are presently at 11-2. Last year at this time, they were 11-1. They won 2 tournaments, and starting on the day after Christmas, on the 26th, we will be hosting the Westmont / Immaculate Conception holiday basketball tournament that comprises of 8 teams. First game for Westmont is on the 26th at 7 o'clock. So we hope that some of you will come out and cheer on what I think is going to be, by the end of this year, an extremely good team that may go deep into the playoffs, knock on wood. But come out during the Christmas tournament week. There'll be games on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the finals on Saturday. And then the only other thing I have, again, is to wish to all of you a safe and great holiday season, and I hope Santa brings everything they wanted.
Well, thank you. Move over here to Trustee Barker.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I wanted to, publicly thank anybody that had anything to do with the 63rd Street development and the natatorium, Community Development Department, and the staff, and everybody that worked on bringing those 2 projects to our community. What a great week last week, and I'm grateful for that. Long time in coming, as we all know. It's been years and years of hard work, and I'm very proud of all the work that was done there. And then on behalf of Westmont First, I wore my shirt tonight, but if you shopped and dined in Westmont this holiday season, from Thanksgiving on, I just want to say thank you. That's exactly what we're supposed to do. at Westmont first. And that little boy that said Westmont is the best mont, I was gonna give him my chair. He'll be sitting here one day, you know. Richmond Gardens, the EIC work, Richmond Gardens next year, 2019. They're looking forward to the installation of the pervious concrete over there. The installation of the bricks and memorial bricks will begin, and the installation of the rain garden, which is an Eagle Scout project, and that's being publicized now because we're building enthusiasm for next year. And we also have a rain barrel raffle that we continue to promote that will take place in April. We have holiday lights recycling, now through January 31st. 2 drop-off locations, the library and fire department headquarters. No ornaments, lawn decorations, or holiday decorations, just lights in that box, please. Clean recycling. And then we also have Christmas tree composting, January 7th through the 18th, and those trees that you can put out with your regular trash have to be free of the lights and the decorations as well. That is all. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Moving on the agenda, items to be removed from the consent agenda. Is there?
What's my name, Skip?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Top liver tonight,
Look
huh?
how much they give you.
Yeah, right, well, I got no visuals,
Trustee
nothing, so
Nero,
we'll have
you got like a
we'll make it
little
work.
Bikini in the ice, Pete, so don't worry
Gonna
about it.
have to punt.
All right, I'll be quick, don't worry, Mayor, thank you. Just a quick update from our very productive Public Works Committee meeting. A few items just for the public to know. You can expect a medium project on the south side, Cass and the tracks, to improve our traffic safety here in the near future. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see how the capital budget comes along, some Metro platform potential upgrades for us too, we got teased with, so we'll learn more about that here in the near future. Tonight, we'll be voting on one of the ways we're going to be funding our future Public Works facility, which is a 0.5% increase on our places for eating tax. So more about that later this meeting. We're also going to be putting out some moped designated parking spots at the train station. So spring is on its way, and you'll be able to drive your moped and park it at the train station. So that's kind of nice. A few other big updates. We have our model water tower building competition coming up in February. We have, thanks to our Public Works Director, Mike Ramsey, we are rolling out our operator and training program with the School District 201. Kids get an opportunity to get involved with the water industry, potentially get trained, work with our department and others within the industry, and maybe take a different career path. And then also I wanted to just highlight that our Public Works Director is nominated for Director at Large for AWWA, which is American Water Works Association. And it's a big honor, Mike. You should be proud. When I used to work professionally with Mike on some things, he's very high renowned. I mean, everybody always looks to him in the industry, from Orland Park all the way out to California. And honestly, wherever I was, they knew of Mike. So good luck in that interview. I'm sure you'll do fine. Moving on, street division. In our last snowfall, I thought this was a pretty interesting stat. For 5 inches of snow, we used 60 tons of salt. And you don't think about it, but that's a lot of work to take all that snow off. So thanks to Public Works for doing that. It was heavy. I barely was able to get my driveway cleared. Time again at their expense. We just couldn't risk it with temperatures. Let's see. Moving on, LED project update at Village Hall, Train Depot. You'll notice the lights have been transitioned to LEDs. Great upgrade here. And let's see. Next alley that we're going to be in design on is the northeast alley of Cass and Burlington. So expect that to be coming up for us to approve here in the near future. We're working with Downers Grove on Deer Creek subdivision. There's some stormwater issues that our village affects Downers Grove, so we're going to be working with them to help solve some of that, which is nice to see communities work together in doing that. And I believe that's all I have. I don't think I missed anything. The last item, I just wanted to congrats one of our employees, Tim Harmer, on his 35th work anniversary, longtime employee, and I think that's kind of exciting that he's still here and an asset.
A note here, the technical name is County of DuPage Community Unit School 201. Just clarifying, this has nothing to do with DuPage County. It is directly for the school. Next purchase order is Dell Marketing, $53,459.52. It's for a replacement server, and this was also a budgeted item, and this has to do with, allows us to finish the full implementation of the ERP system. The total of those purchase orders is $279,987.07, and that brings the total of purchase orders and finance ordinance number 16 to $2,023,875.74. And that completes the consent agenda.
Do I have a motion to approve as presented?
Motion by Anderson to approve.
Second, Nero.
Please.
Trustee Little. On the question, any questions, comments from the public? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to new business. A, extension of temporary liquor license to Hilton Oakbrook Hills Resort. Board to consider an ordinance extending a temporary liquor license to Hilton Oakbrook Hills Resort and Conference Center, 3500 Midwest Road. And I got Deputy Liquor Commissioner Mulhern.
Evening, Mayor and Village Board. Due to the large number of corporate officers and managerial supervisors being identified and living out of state involved in this application, additional time is needed to complete a background investigation excuse me, before issuing a Class 7 liquor license. The temporary license is due to expire December 31st of 2018. Background investigation is delayed due to obtaining submissions of out-of-state fingerprints, which I worked on today, and we should have everything done. So I'm asking for an extension until January 31st of 2019.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second, Little.
Motion made and seconded to approve. On the question, I think the only comment would be this is the new group that purchased the entire property, including golf course, and they, like Tom said, they've got a lot of, we got to make sure we get all the owners on record. So it's a temporary extension. Any additional comment? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business B, decrease and then increase number of available Class 20 liquor license. Board to consider ordinance decreasing the number of Class 20 liquor license by 1 due to the sale of Myths and Legends Brewery. Then the board is asked to increase the number of Class 20 liquor license by 1 to accommodate the sale of Whiskey Hill Brewery at 1115 Zagmont Court Circle. And again, I've got Deputy Liquor Commissioner Mulhern.
Thank you. Whiskey Hill Brewery has submitted an application for a Class 20 liquor license at 1115 Zigmont Circle. They are taking over the operation of the former Myths and Legends Brewery. They are going to continue brew and serving operations. A background check on management of Whiskey Hill Brewery was conducted, and they are eligible to receive a Class 20 liquor license. The board is asked to decrease the number of licenses by 1 with the sale of Myths and Legends to the owners of Whiskey Hill, and then increase the number of licenses available by 1 for Whiskey Hill. This would then allow the liquor commissioner to issue a Class 20 license. They are going to stay in their same operation. Just so the board knows, they are looking at to increase their occupancy limit. However, we don't have a final number yet. We're working with community development and the mayor to come up with that. Their liquor license requires only 16 seats and 10 at the bars, so that's 26 seats. They're looking to increase that. So we'll probably be back in front of you in January with a text amendment to increase that. But until then, they are going to continue operations as is. The current owners are Matt Weil and Robert Salerno. Between the two of them, they own over 18 restaurants in the area. They are looking to move this operation someplace else in Westmont, and we're currently working with them on that. They need the brewery because it's being sold at their other locations, but they would also like to have a brew pub type operation or restaurant operation using their restaurant skills elsewhere here in Westmont.
And then
You
as
want
a-
this handled
they-
as one?
They have, one motion? They have been managing the brewery probably the whole year.
Right. The previous owners under Myths and Legends have retained ownership. They are in the process of buying that from the previous owners, so they came in back in January as a managerial type company, so Mayor's correct. They have been operating and responsible for the operation of the brewery. They've made some changes, basically, which is that it was a name change. And they want to make it clear that they want to stay in Westmont and that they would like to continue the operation and have a successful business here.
And the change of ownership is going to occur before January the 1st, I would imagine.
Talking with them today, they would like the license, their new license to be effective January 1st, 2019. So they would like to have it a clean cut at the beginning of the year, so the new license, and then the sale will
Say
take
they'd
place
have to,
before
or
that.
else Myths and Legends going to have to get us a application for a liquor license.
Yes, correct.
All right, so, do I have a,
The deputy village clerk worked with them, talked to them today about that.
okay. Do I have a motion to approve
Motion by Addington to approve.
Second, Parker.
on the question? No, none? Nobody? Roll call, please.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Motion passed. Is this the Tom Mulhern night? What is- all right. New business, C, increase in available Class 9B liquor license. Board to consider ordinance increasing the number of available Class 9B liquor license by 1 to accommodate an application by Pathway to Living, Aspired Living of Westmont, 407 West 63rd Street in Westmont, Illinois. Deputy Liquor Commissioner Mulhern.
Thank you, Mayor. Pathway to Living, doing business as Aspired Living at 407 West 63rd, submitted an application for the service of all alcoholic liquors for on-property consumption only for residents or guests. A background check revealed that they are eligible to receive a Class 9B liquor license. I'll discuss that more. Board is asked to increase the number of available licenses of 9B liquor licenses by 1 to allow the liquor commissioner the opportunity to issue a license to Pathway to Living, doing business as Aspired Living at Westmont at 407 West 63rd. The background phase has been not so much delayed a little bit, but there's a short time frame. Aspired Living would like to have a liquor license for the holidays for their residents, and that's why we're trying to push this more quickly. As a result, to try to accommodate that, We have placed, the mayor has placed a restriction on their license, that this license is being issued pending the completion of the full background report. I'm still waiting for information on fingerprints and stuff. Everything preliminary looks okay, or else I wouldn't be here, but just to be on the safe side, that restriction will be in place pending the final background phase. If anything comes up, the mayor will hold a liquor hearing, at which time he'll hear all evidence, and at that time, if necessary, either suspend or revoke that license. If nothing comes up, then that restriction will expire when the background investigation is completed.
And their hours of operation is pretty much
Yeah.
very minor.
Tuesday, as Manager May has indicated. They have a bar, but they only serve alcohol on one day a week, usually Tuesdays, from 3 till 5 o'clock, and that's the only time. But they are, because they fit the definition of selling and serving alcohol, are required to have a liquor license. They also may have special events like a Christmas party like they're planning for next week. They'll have events where they would like to have, alcohol to the residents. They are not allowed to have alcohol at every dinner or in their rooms or anything like that. And there's also one request, if I could, that they made. They also asked, because of the nature of the business and the time, can they, seek a waiver from the board or some accommodation from the board on waiving the $1,500 application fee. It's usually, they are a for-profit business. We normally have not done that. I talked to the mayor today and we checked with staff. Cordia was in the exact same position, especially with the holidays several years ago. We went and researched. Cordia did pay the $1,500 application fee. In talking with the mayor and staff, they have to pay an $83 license fee for the remaining week for the last 5 days of 2018, and then we'll pay their full $500 license fee for January 1st. I guess if any accommodation could be made, could we waive that $83 fee for the remaining 2018 license fee? That's $83 for 1 week.
I don't have a problem. What I'm looking for then is a motion to approve the license for Aspired Living and waive this year's $80-some fee.
Motion to approve, Guzzo.
Second, Nero.
Motion made and second to approve. On the question, any additional comments?
So the same thing, Tom, if they go a year, they're eligible to apply for the machines?
They could, yes.
Well, no, I mean, I don't say that jokingly at all,
No.
because, I mean, this is what these machines are geared to, is geared to retirements, basically, so.
I can't remember if I asked them or not. Their main focus right now is not, but I also felt that would be something that those types of resident homes could look into. But yes, you are correct. If they waited a year, they would be. I take that back.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
There may be a prohibition in the state act about nursing homes.
As well as in our Class 23, thank you, from the Class 23 license, there's a set of licenses. They are not eligible for that. 9B is not in that class, so they could not get a Class 23 license.
Okay, because I wouldn't think it'd be
Good
open to the
question.
public anyways, right? I mean, it's a sealed.
Oh, yeah, they're not open to the public.
Okay.
Any additional comments, questions?
You have a young lady
Oh.
behind you.
She's for the next
To the
item.
next one, he's still up.
Next one.
I'd ask for a roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Parker.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business D, increase of Class 4 liquor license. Board to consider ordinance increasing the number of Class 4 liquor license by 1 to accommodate Sushi Nova, 677 North Cass Avenue. I got Deputy Liquor Commissioner Mulhern.
Thank you, Mayor. Sushi Nova has submitted an application for a Class 4 liquor license for their proposed business at 677 North Cass Avenue. A background check was completed, and Sushi Nova is eligible to receive a Class 4 liquor license. Owner, I'm going to go with Angela Yang, is opening the sushi restaurant at 677 North Cass. This will be Ms. Yang's second restaurant, and she would like to offer beer and wine only to customers as a supplement to her menu items. For those who want to know, this is where I get the strip mall where the Dairy Queen Mai Tai is located. She's going to be occupying the previous Boss restaurant, which is there. And so without any further ado, I'll introduce Angela Liang, and she can tell you about her business and answer any questions.
Hi, everyone. My name is Angela. I'm the owner of Sushi Nova. We have a first location. It's in Orland Park. Will be our second location in Westmont. Sushi Nova is a very traditional Japanese restaurant. We offer unlimited sushi option, and also we have the regular menu like a traditional Japanese teriyaki bento box and udon noodle, fried rice. There's a lot of options. I hope when we open, you guys will come here to try and enjoy our food. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And when do you plan on opening?
Close like late January or beginning February. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Great.
And Tom, is sake a wine, or is that a?
It's considered a wine.
It's considered a wine?
Yes.
Okay, well,
It's a
that's
rice
good news.
wine.
That's great news.
Seeing no other information, I'd ask for a motion.
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Nero.
Motion been made in second to approve. Any additional comments? Questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Motion passes.
Merry Christmas to all.
Thank you, Tom. New business E, reapproval of NICOR franchise agreement. Board to consider ordinance reapproving a franchise agreement with NICOR to construct, operate, and maintain a gas distribution system in the village. Manager May.
I mean, touch on that. Mayor, I'll
Okay.
touch on that with your permission. The village board approved this franchise ordinance back in March, I believe it was, of this year. Under the terms of the ordinance, NICOR was required to provide a written acceptance of that within 30 days of the passage of the ordinance. Looks like the ordinance was never transmitted, even though NICOR was aware that it was on the agenda and passed. We never transmitted the signed ordinance to them, and they never sent a signed acceptance letter to the village. So rather than administratively send this later, they said reapprove it, and then we'll send a new letter accepting it. So that's why it's on here. It's just an administrative cure.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve Guzzo? Second, Little?
Motion been made and seconded. Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Little? Yes. Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Motion passes. New business F, places for eating tax amendment. Board to consider ordinance to amend section 74-401 of the municipal code to increase the places for eating tax to 2% effective April 1st, 2019. So that's,
I have a typo. It
should be 19.
My bad.
And I asked Finance Director Parker for additional comments.
As the board's aware, this is something that's been discussed in a lot of detail over the past at least year or two, as well as a lot more detail in the past month. As you're aware, we've discussed this at multiple committee meetings and then also had a couple of town hall meetings. Each restaurant that pays places for eating tax to the village was sent a letter informing them of the town hall meetings and also of the committee meeting, which we had at prior to the last board meeting, as well as this board meeting, that this would be considered. So they've been notified of it. As you're aware, this is something that is designed to be able to help support the construction of a new public works facility, which is in dire needs of updating and construction of a new facility, because the old facility is not in a good shape, and there's additional EPA requirements that require that elimination of the current facility. As you know, we've discussed a lot of different options, including some cuts. The village has identified the equivalent in terms of bond terms of up to the equivalent of $5 million worth of cuts. In addition to those cuts, we need to find additional revenue streams. This places for eating tax, which generates about $350,000 annually, also equates to right about $5 million worth of a bond.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Addington.
Motion been made and seconded to approve. Any comments? Anybody in the audience? Just opening up, anybody? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little? Yes. Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo? Yes. Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Motion passes. New business G, amended small wireless facilities development ordinance. Board to consider ordinance amending Chapter 82, Article 10 of the Westmont Code of Ordinances regarding small wireless facilities deployment. And I'm going to ask Attorney Zemanek to handle this one.
Thank you. In January of this year, the board approved an ordinance regulating this small cell antenna technology, which is a growing national trend of wireless carriers, where smaller antennas are mounted on existing utility poles and other poles to help with communication. After the ordinance was passed by the board, the state enacted an act which regulates this technology and prescribes maximum fees that can be charged by a municipality, height limitations, where they can be located, et cetera. The IML prepared a model ordinance that's not too dissimilar from the ordinance the board passed in January, but it comports with all the requirements of the state act, and it's now before you for approval.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Addington.
Second, Nero.
Motion been made in second. Additional comments?
I would just point out there's a permit process that an applicant would have to go through to apply for this, and a time period by which the village has to respond to the application. They'd have to pay fees, but it is otherwise a permitted use. So when these applications are submitted, they're not going to come back before the village board unless it's to approve a master pole license agreement.
No planning and zoning or anything, they just get a permit and do it?
Correct, it's permitted use. The only exception would be if they are seeking to exceed the height limitations, they'd have to apply for a variance, and that would go through planning and zoning.
If you recall, this was a biggie in the state legislature last year, and there was a lot of lobbying by these small cell companies that, you know, I think making the case that they were picked on. Maybe isn't the right way to say it. And what you've got here now is really a compromise that was worked out with Illinois Municipal League and the legislatures to at least have some little bit of control. I think the original thought was that they were going to let them do it with no control.
And they also wanted consistency amongst the various municipalities, so the rule, you know, is a level playing field for everyone and level fees applicable to everyone. The federal government also regulates in this area, and they've enacted some initial regulations that are currently being reviewed, which could have an impact on the state law and this ordinance, and we will advise you if that becomes the case.
Any other comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business H, amendment to Chapter 78 parking. Board to approve an ordinance to amend the municipal code, Chapter 78, to define the term parkway in detail. Manager.
Mayor, it's that simple. Actually, the word parkway is defined elsewhere in the code, but the addition here is to, in that reference chapter 78, is just to add the language on a parkway as defined in section 82.352. So it's more clarification for enforcement purposes.
I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Addington.
Second, Little.
Motion been made and second. Any additional comments, questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business I, an employment agreement. Board to consider ordinance approving an employment agreement for the position of fire chief. Manager May.
Mayor, and we've actually, discussed the subject matter before for a long while leading up to this. We have received the notice of the intent to retire from the fire chief, Dave Weiss, which will be next March 1st. And, both, sorry that that's happening, kind of too bad for us, but, appreciate, and there's a lot of envy that comes with that too, so.
Well, we can make this whole thing work real good by just refusing to accept his notice that he can't retire.
Yeah. Could,
But
when you stop showing up, though.
yeah. I think one of the keys to this is that we put a succession plan in, and Chief worked hard on that with staff, and it's in place and it's going to work. It has worked and it's going to work, continue to work.
Right.
So,
So this is also, besides the notice to retire, there's a very long notice with that, because if it's anything that Chief Weiss has worked on diligently, is a succession planning for, many years too. So we have this, it was essentially 4 months advance notice of it's happening, and are asking tonight, I've gone through the replacement options, and it's my intention to appoint Deputy Chief Steve Riley as the next fire chief. And this position does come with an employment contract, so you have to formally execute the employment agreement. But we're asking you, I'm asking you to do this tonight so that we can continue the planning and the transition, and just the short version, the backfilling with the deputy chiefs, and getting all these in place so that when March 1st comes, there's a very smooth transition. So we'll be approving the agreement tonight, but it'll be effective March 2nd, 2019.
do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Little? Second, Guzzo.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the
So,
agreement.
Mr. Mayor, I have some issues
Yes.
with this hire.
Yeah.
Okay. Currently, our fire chief is in the Rotary Club, okay? And I want to know, is Steve Riley going to come to our Rotary Club now? Because
You have to put that in the
that
contract.
that's a big concern for me moving forward. Okay, all right. Then I'll rethink my vote, okay, chief? Okay, all right.
Any other? Are you commenting about this? I'll pick you up under miscellaneous. He just doesn't want to.
It's the podium.
It's his night.
Mayor, I'd just like to compliment Chief Weiss. What a great fire chief.
Yes.
And, it has to be said, everything that he's done that I've seen over the years has been phenomenal. And, the deputy chief will have big shoes to fill, if he's up to that challenge.
Yeah.
So,
And we've had-
congratulations on your
Yes.
retirement.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll have many other opportunities to thank you, but the past year, 2 years, the department has been recognized nationally. I think that's huge credit for you and your leadership, so, all right. I'll take a roll call.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Perry?
Yes.
Trustee Addington? I thought we'd solved that.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Motion passes. We're going to move on to miscellaneous. Yes.
I just want to add with that, because I was, waiting for the actual approval. I mentioned that it isn't effective till March 2nd, but I'll tell you today that the board meeting immediately preceding that date is February 28th, of which we will have the actual swearing in on that date.
We have a public
And
safety.
birthday cake, but, for the other chief, but
It says his birthday.
it's Chief Gunther's birthday, but it's Chief Weiss's, we're gonna
not
overshadow.
his birthday.
I mean, I'm sorry, it isn't? I have it in the calendar wrong, though.
It's
Is it your
mine.
birthday?
Yeah.
Separated by an H, I apologize.
Close enough.
Guy's birthday.
Yeah.
I am through talking.
All right, that's okay, thanks. That's why I don't use the calendar online. Messaging.
Let's just say the meeting
Miscellaneous.
before March
Yeah,
1st.
Miscellaneous, I'll ask Deputy Liquor Commissioner Paul Hearn back to the podium.
Really don't want to be here, but did want to tell you, this is Matt Weil. He is one of the two owners of Whiskey Hill, and I didn't want Matt's trip to be wasted. So I did want to introduce him. If anybody has any questions, or Matt, if there's anything you want to say, your license is approved, so you don't do the soft sell.
Yeah.
I want to apologize too. I used the electronic calendar, so I had it down for 7 o'clock. So that must be what it was. If we're allowed to blame that, I'm going to use that one.
All right, there we go.
No, I just want to say thank you all. Really appreciate your time tonight and coming in and spending the time and helping us, especially the mayor and Tom and everybody else, and coming in. We've had multiple meetings on this to try to get on the same page, see what the village is expecting. and at the same time, put our best foot forward. We own other businesses in other villages, so we're definitely someone that likes to get involved in the community. This is not a just for us and a for-profit venture. It's, we really like to get involved with where we're at. So I think I speak on behalf of Rob Salerno, myself, when I say that. Thank you, and we're happy to be here. So, and if there's any questions too, I'm sure there's a few I can probably answer them the best I can.
Any
Maybe there's not.
questions? I think the board is excited about the possibility of any potential relocation down the road. And that's, they were just told that's it. But I know we're working with you to see if we can get you in a non-industrial area.
Right. And we're happy to do that. We've been talking really hard, and Rob and I, and we're super excited. I mean, that's something that in first coming here, we had plans and visions, although we knew there were a lot of obstacles. We were looking for more of the perfect scenario, and I think that you guys kind of helped us see that. Not saying that it's not what we wanted, but showing us what was available really helps kind of nudge it that way. And we're like, hey, no problem. We'd rather go that direction, but we need the resources and help to do it. So.
Good. Seeing no other, I know they've been operating for a year now, but we'll say welcome to the ownership of it, so thank you.
Yeah, so that feels good too. We'll be going to the states left now. We have the federal license now, we'll have the village, and we'll go down to the state here, this weekend we'll be good, so.
Good, thank you.
Glad you're here.
Thank you. Miscellaneous, Larry, you have anything to, oh, he doesn't have any other board member? Yes,
I have a
trustee.
quick question to the village manager. On the online village website, it shows we have a village board meeting on the 4th of July. And I think that might be a problem.
I'm sure it will be, but when we publish for the year, we publish the pattern as it exists, and when we get closer to that date, I will be begging you to cancel that.
Like we did for
meeting.
Thanksgiving.
Right.
Okay.
So
I thought maybe at this
You
point
can vote tonight, to
still
cancel it.
move it
Yeah.
to a different date.
Well, when we get closer, depending on the agenda load and whether or not we want to do something like that, that is an opportunity to either cancel the meeting or pick a new date. Better decided when we're closer to it.
They're assuming you're getting reelected.
anything else? I do want to, we wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday. I do have to say, this has been an outstanding year for the village and this board and the staff. I think Trustee Barker mentioned it. We've got some big things happening, things that took 3 to 4 years to get to even this point. It's going to take another 18 months to 2 years to get it to actual reality, but it's been a great year for everybody, and I want to thank you for all your involvement and wish everybody happy holidays.
Yep.
So at this point, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move Guzzo.
Second, Nero.
Motion been made and second to adjourn. Roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Thank everyone, and again, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.